Rama Rama, Namaste everyone. Welcome you all to session 18 of Samskritasri Pathamala 2. Today we will revise avyayas which we did in the last class. We'll do some exercises and we'll also try to learn the twa and tuman pratyayas. Prarthana. Shuklam Varadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vikno Pashante Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatika Kritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahi Saraswati Namaste Stu Veena Pustakadharini Hamsavahana Marudhe Vidyadanam Kurushvame. So the Subhashitam for today is Gauravam Prapyate Danat Natu Vittasya Sanchayat Sthitihi Uchchaihi Payodanam Payodhinam Adhaha Sthitihi. The meaning of this is, we have to first rearrange the words of it. Danat Gauravam Prapyate Natu Vittasya Sanchayat Payodanam Sthitihi Uchchaihi Payodhinam Sthitihi Adhaha. Dana is charity. So one attains greatness by giving of one's wealth or by distributing one's wealth and not by accumulating it. And sanchayaha is to accumulate. Accumulation is sanchayaha. Vittam we know is dhanam. So danat gauravam is greatness. That is achieved by giving of wealth and not by collecting it. Payodaha is the cloud. Payodanam sthitihi uchchaihi. Sthitihi is the position. It is situated above. The clouds are situated in the sky, or they give rains from the sky. And payodhinam sthitihi adha. Payodhi is Payodhihi is the sea. It is situated below. So the one who gives is at a higher position than the one who receives and accumulates it, is the essence of this Subhashitam. The Subhashitams that are there in the textbook, I hope you have learned them by heart and also try to understand the word by word meaning and the overall meaning as well. So in Shabda Ratanam, in the last class, if you remember, we saw the classifications of the Shabdas that we have to learn. Because in Sanskrita, most of the learning is that of the different forms of the Shabda Rupas. So initially, we start off with the Ajanta Shabdas, and that too the Sadharana Ajanta Shabdas and not the Vishesha Shabdas. We'll go on to learn them a little later. So we saw that the types of Shabdas are Ajantas and Halantas. In Ajantas, there is the classification as Sadharana and Vishesha. Similarly, in Halantas also we have Sadharana and Vishesha. We also have Sarvanama Shabdas and Sankhya Vachaka Shabdas. So we have seen some Ajanta Sadharana Shabdas. We have seen some Sarvanama Shabdas and Sankhya Shabdas so far. So we saw alphabet-wise the classification or the arrangement of the Sanskritam alphabet in the form of the Maheshwara Sutras. A, I, Un, Riluk, A, Om, I, Ouch, Hayavarat, Lan, Yamangananam, Jhabhai, Ghadadash, Jabagadadash, Khapachadhatha Chatatav, Kapai, Shashasar, and Hal. So here in the first 4 sutras, the swaras are given, and in the remaining 10 sutras, the vyanjanas are given. So the A to the last chakara is taken as ach, and that is why we have ach as the end. The shabdas which have ach as the ending letter are called ach antas. It becomes ajanta. So they are the swara ending shabdas. So this is what we have seen. Halantas we'll see a little later. Hal antas are those which have hal letters in the end. And hal is nothing but the vyanjana. So beginning from hakara till the last la in the Maheshwara Sutta, it is the abbreviation. It is hal. Hal represents the vyanjanas. So in Shabda Ratanam, we have so far seen in the akarantas, the Rama Shabda in Pullinga and Phala Shabda in Napumsakalinga, Akaranta, Rama Shabda as the sample Shabda for the Strilinga Akaranta Shabda. Ikaranta, we have it in all the three lingas, Hari as a representative in Pullinga, Mati in Strilinga, and Vari, Shuchi, and Dadhi. So in this we saw that Vari is the normal Napumsakalinga Shabda, which is Harasva Ikaranta. Shuchi is, it is an avyay, it is an adjective. So what happens is it is available in the Pullinga form as well. Shuchi is there both in Pullinga and in Napumsakalinga. So it gets rupas, alternate rupas in the the 4th to 8th vibhakti, and also the 6th and 7th dvitiya vachanam, dvivachana vibhakti, we have alternate forms, which is like the Pullinga form. Dadhi is a slightly different form of the Napumsakalinga Shabda itself, Ikaranta Shabda. So there are basically 3 types of Rasva Ikaranta Napumsakalinga Shabdas. In Ikaranta, we have only Strilinga Nadi Shabda. In Pullinga also, we have Ikaranta Shabdas, but they come under the Vishesha Shabda. So in Sadharana Shabda, we have only in Strilinga Nadi Shabda. Similarly, Ukaranta, we have in all the 3 lingas, Guru, Dhenu, and Madhu and Laghu. Madhu is the exclusive Napumsakalinga Shabda. Laghu is there both in Pullinga, Strilinga, as well as in Napumsakalinga. The Ukaranta Shabda, the Sadharana Shabda or the Samanya Shabda is available only in Strilinga. Vadhu is the typical Shabda which we have to learn. If we know that, we can do the other Ukarantas, Strilinga Shabdas. Rikaranta, we have 2 types as we saw, Pitra and Datra. So Datra is derived from the verb dhatu, and it is derived from by the addition of the trich pratyaya. So many verbs by the addition of the trich pratyaya become Rikaranta Shabdas, and their forms are slightly different from the Pitra Shabda. We have seen that as well in detail in the initial classes. Then in Strilinga, we have Matra and Swastra, which are 2 types of, there is a slight difference between Swastra and Matra because of the Dirgha in some forms. And in Napumsakalinga, we have the Datra Shabda again. Because it is available both in Pullinga as well, there are some alternate forms which are in certain vibhaktis. Now for Ekaranta, Ekaranta there is none. Aikaranta, we have Rai Shabda as the sample Shabda. It is there in both Pullinga and Strilinga, and the forms are exactly the same both in Pullinga and Strilinga. It is not there in Napumsakalinga. Okaranta Shabdas is we have Go Shabda. It is there in Pullinga and Strilinga. It is again not there in Napumsakalinga. Aukaranta Shabda, in Pullinga we have Glau, which means the moon, and in Strilinga it is Nau, which is a boat. So I think as homework, I had asked you to learn these Shabda forms, because just to get a sense of completion of all the Ajanta Sadharana Shabdas. So if somebody wants to try reciting the Shabda forms of Rai, Go, Glove, or Now, who can raise your hand? Muralidharan Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Namaste. Ram Ram. Can you try the Rai Shabda?
Yes. Rikarantaha pullingaha Rai Shabdaha Raha Rayau Rayaha Rayam Rayau Rayaha Raya Ravyam Ravihi Raye Ravyam Ravyaha Rayaha Ravyam Ravyaha Rayaha Rayoho Rayam Rayi Rayoho Rasu Hiraha Hirayau Hirayaha.
So this is both in Pullinga and Strilinga. It is the same form. Raha, Raya, Rayaha, and so on. Mahodaya, would you like to try the Go Shabda as well?
Go Shabda.
Yes. Go.
Gokarantaha Strilingaha Go Shabdaha Gauhu Gavau Gavaha Gam Gavau Gaha Gava Gobyam Gobihi Gave Gobyam Gobyaha Goho Gobyam Gobyaha Goho Gavoho Gavam Gavi Gavoho Goshu He Gauhu He Gavau He Gavaha.
Bahu Uttamam Mahodaya. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyawad.
Sri Ranjani Mohan Ram.
Namaste.
Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram.
Pullinga Glove Shabda.
Pullingaha Glove Shabda. Aukarantah Pullingaha Glove Shabda. Glove Glavo Glavah. He Glove He Glavo He Glavah. Glavam Glavo Glavah. Glava Glava Glaubiam Glaubihi Glave
Glove.
Glaubihi Glave Glaubiam Glaubyah Glavah Glaubyam Glaubyah Glavah Glavoho Glavam Glavi Glavoho Glashu
Glove.
Glaushu.
And then He Glove.
He Glaubu.
You
I have
already
said
said.
it.
Okay. So now Shabda is also exactly similar to the Pullinga Glove Shabda. Would you like to try that as well?
Yes, madam. I have a small doubt in it.
Yes.
We are saying glavo. Now shabda mein last seventh one. Navi hoga. Navi or nai.
Seventh one.
Navi.
Glavi. Similar to Glavi, it will be Navi.
Navi.
Navi. Yes. There is no difference in Pullinga and Strilinga.
Okay. Now.
Aukara.
Aukaranta स्त्रीलिंग है नौ शब्द है नौहु नावौ नौहु नावौ नावः हे नौहु हे नावौ हे नावः हे नावाम हे नावौ हे नावः हे नवाः नवाः.
It is just Navam, Navo, Navaha. It is the Dvitiya.
Thank you. Navam, Navo, Navaha. Nava naubhyam naubhihi. Nave naubhyam naubhyah. Navah naubhyam naubhyah. Navah navoho.
Navoho.
Navah navoho navanam.
Navam.
Navam.
Yes.
Navi navoho nashu.
Naushu.
Naushu.
Yes. Uttam. Dhanyavadaha.
Dhanyavad.
So we saw some abhyayas as well in the last class. We'll revise them quickly and do some practice sentences. Somebody wants to read? Then raise your hand. Usha Divate.
Namaskaram, Bhagini.
Namaste. Namaste.
Atha, then. Adaha, down. Iva, like. Evam, like this. Kila, is it not so? Antaha, inside. Alam, sufficient or enough of. Ishat, a little. Krutam, enough of. Khalu, isn't it?
So alam and kritam are similar. Kila and khalu are similar.
Chiram, for a long time. Prak, before, by time. Purataha, in front of. Paschat, later or back of. Mitaha, mutually or to each other. Jatu, once. Puraha, before or by place. Purasthat, in front of. Bahihi, outside. Ma, don't. Tushnim, silently. Pura, once. Hyaha, yesterday. Dishtaya, fortunately.
It is dishtya.
Dishtya, fortunately.
Yes.
Sadhyaha, immediately. Shvaha, tomorrow.
So would you like to try a couple of sentences?
Yes. Tisrubihi horabihi eko yamaha.
Yes. So what is hora?
3 hours, na Bhagini?
Yes, 3 hours.
3 hours is 1 yamaha.
It's a yama. I don't know if there is an equivalent in English, but we call it a yama.
Oh, in English also yama?
Yes. In English, I don't know if there is some time measurement as yama, but in Sanskrita we have in our Indian systems we have a yama.
So 3 hours are 1 yama. Make a yama.
Make a yama. Tisribhihi horabihi ekaha yama. So here we have used the Tritiya Vibhakti. So by 3 hours a yama is made. So in that sense we have used the Tritiya. So this is just the way in which it is constructed in Sanskrit.
Okay. Divasasya chatvaraha yamaha. In one day there are 4 yamas.
Yeah. During the day there are 4 yamas or 12 hours.
4 yamas. Nishayaha cha chatvaraha yamaha.
Chatvaraha
yamaha. Night. Nishayaha, like a Shashti Ekavachana. Nishayaha cha Chatvarah yamaha. Four yamas are in the night.
Yes.
Ahatya ekasya dinasya ashtav yamaha. In one day there are 8 yamas.
Yes, 4 in the day and 4 in the night.
4 in the night.
So ahatya is nothing but totally.
Totally. Totally one day has 8 yamas.
Yes. So ekasya dinasya is ekasya is like is a visheshana to dina. So ekam dina. Yes.
Pancha dashabihi dinaihi ekah pakshaha. 15 days. So pakshaha also in English only pakshaha, or does it have
fortnight? We just 2 weeks it is for a fortnight, but here we have 15 days. So fortnight
15
is
days.
usually yeah. So that's
15 days. 15 days makes one fortnight.
It doesn't make sense. So we can say paksha itself.
Paksha.
Yeah. Okay. Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavadah.
Right. K. Panta.
Ram Ram.
Ram Ram.
Saha Krishnapakshah Shuklapakshah iti Vedha Bhavati. It is.
That is, Saha represents, Saha is for Pakshaha. We spoke about Pakshaha in the previous sentence. So there are 2 types. Dvedha is, it is of 2 types, Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha.
Okay, so it has got 2 types, Krishna Pakshaha and Shukla Pakshaha. Krishna Pakshasya Antimam Dinam Amavasyaha. Amavasya. The last day of Krishna Paksha is New Moon Day.
Yes.
Shukla Pakshasya Antimam Dinam Purnima. The last day of Shukla Paksha is full moon day. Shall I continue?
Yes. Dvabhyam.
Dvabhyam Pakshabhyam Eko Masah. These 2 pakshas make 1 month.
2 pakshas. So Dvabhyam Pakshabhyam. Here we have it is in Tritiya Dvivachana. Dvabhyam Pakshabhyam Ekaha Masah. Ekaha has become Eko. 2 pakshas make a month. So you can try the next set as well.
Okay. Swabhyam Masambhyam Ekaha Rutuhu. 2 months make 1 season. Make a season, okay.
Yes.
Shadbhi Ritubhi Ekaha Samvatsarah. Shadbhi 6 seasons make 1 Samvatsarah means here is it?
Here, yes. Samvatsarah, Vatsarah, Varsha.
Varsha come across.
Varsha.
Okay.
Varsha is rain. Varsha
rain.
Yes. So Shadbihi Ritubhihi Ekaha
Samvatsarah.
Yes. Uttama.
Dhanyavadah. Okay.
Any and Maria?
Namaste. Ayam Chatreshu Prathamaha. This is the first one among the 6.
Chhatraha. Chatreshu.
Among the students, sorry.
Yes. So
Chatreshu.
means first
The
amongst
the students. Chhatraha Dvitiyayam Tithau Kalashalam Agachanti. The students, Tithau was
Tithihi is Strilinga Shabda, Ikarantaha, Rasva Ikaranta, just like Mati. So Matau is which Vibhakti?
7th Vibhakti.
Seventh.
In the second Tithi, but I forgot Tithi. I translated it last night. The
Tithi
second
is
day
the-
of the month of the after the
Yes.
full moon. Ah, okay.
Yes.
In the second day after the full moon, Kalashalam Agachanti. They come in the second day. Okay. Second day is, I understand, is from the full moon or something like that.
That is also Tithi, but it is both after the full moon and after Amavasya. Both will be Tithi only. So since there are 2 Pakshas, there will be 2 second days.
Okay.
But here they mean the second day of the month. So in any case, Tithi is just the date.
Okay. But it's not sure which day. Second day of the month.
Yes, second day of the month. Here.
Of the month. Okay. Arjunaha Pandoho Tritiyaha Putraha. Arjuna is the 3rd child of Pandu.
Sorry, Vini, we lost your audio.
You can't hear?
Now, yes, just a bit we lost. Now
sorry.
it's okay.
Arjunaha is the 3rd child of Pandu.
3rd son of Pandu. Putraha.
Putraha, son. Chaturthyam Tithau Vinayakam Pujayanti. Vinayaka is doing, we are doing the puja, they are doing the puja to Vinayaka in the 4th day of the month.
Yes. People worship Vinayaka on the 4th day. So you can try the next 4 of those sentences.
Bhratrishu aham panchamaha. Amongst the brothers, I am the 5th one.
Very good.
Mama dvitiya bhagini Rukmini. My second sister is Rukmini.
Very good.
Aham prataha dashamyam horayam tatra agachami. I come in every morning at the 10 o'clock there. I come there every morning at 10 o'clock.
So here it is just said prataha, but pratidinam is not given. So every morning may not be there. So I come there at the 10th hour in the morning.
In the morning. In the morning. But we say at the 10th, at 10 o'clock in the 7th, in Saptami, Dashamyam, Horayam.
Dashamyam, yes. So it is in Saptami.
Saptami.
Yes.
Okay. Krishnaha Ashtamyam Tithau Jataha. Krishnaha went in the 8th day.
Jataha is he was born.
He was
Jayate. Jayate, this is the past participle. Jataha. So here also, so any time or place we use the 7th vibhakti. In or at. So Ashtamyam Tidho.
Okay.
On the 8th day he was born.
Okay. Now it makes yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Rama. MC Sriram.
Namo Namaha, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram, Namaste.
Vasudevasya putreshu ayam ashtamaha.
Yes, it should be Vasudevasya, but it's given. Vasudevasya. Vasudevasya.
I'm sorry, it should be Vasudevasya. Yeah,
Vasudevasya.
Vasudevasya is correct. Correct. Vasudevasya putreshu ayam ashtamaha. This is the 8th son of Vasudeva.
He is the Ayam.
Oh, he. Okay. He is. Saraswatim Kanya masasya navamyam thitau pujayanti. Saraswatim Kanya masasya navamyam thitau pujayanti. They worship Saraswati in the Kanya masam on the 9th day.
Yes.
Kanya masam, I don't know what the equivalent is in English.
In English, it is sometime between September and October. So we can use Kanya month because there is no exact equivalent.
No, I was looking for the what do they call it? The constellation that's supposed to belong to Kanya.
Oh,
I don't know what the equivalent is in English.
I don't know either. So we'll keep it as Kanya month.
Right. Tasya dashami titihi Vijayadashami. Tasya
This Kanya masasya Dashami tithi.
Yeah.
Tasya represents Kanya masa.
No, I got that. I was just trying to formulate it in my head here. Yeah. So the 10th day of the Kanya masa is Vijayadashami.
Yes.
Can I do this?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Give me 1 second. You can fill my answers up.
Yes.
Okay. So the very first one is Rama comes here every morning.
Yes.
Prati prataha Ramaha atra agacchati.
Pratidinam prataha.
It doesn't
every day morning.
Okay. Since it said only every morning, I thought I would use Prati Prataha.
Prati Prataha. You can.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. He is the 7th among the students. Saha saptameshu chatreshu asti.
Chatreshu saptamaha. Saha. Among the students, it will be in Saptami. What is he? He is the 7th. So saptamaha.
Okay. So I should say Saha Chatreshu Saptamaha Asti.
Yes.
Okay. Sahadeva is the 5th son of Pandu. Sahadevaha Pandoho Panchameshu Putraha. It should actually be the other way around, right? So Sahadevaha Pandoho Panchamaha Putraha is what it should be.
Yes.
Okay. I am the 9th Putraha.
Pandoho Panchamaha
Putraha. So the Pandoho would be the 6th case, and the Panchamaha has to be in the first case.
First case, yes.
Okay. Balarama is the 7th child of Vasudeva.
Oh, I missed a sentence.
Or Vasudeva. Oh, yeah, I think Balarama, there are two, before I am the 9th in the class is...
there are 2 sentences before this?
Yeah, there are a few more sentences.
Okay.
I am 9th in the class is the next sentence. Sorry.
Okay.
I am the 9th in the class. It should be Aham Kakshayam or Varge Navamaha Asmi.
Yes. Kakshayam
Navamaha. Kakshayam Navamaha Asmi or Varge Asmi. Navamaha Asmi. Right? Okay.
Yes.
Balarama is the 7th child of Vasudeva. Or is it Vasudeva? It should be Vasudeva, right? Okay.
Yes, Vasudeva.
Balaramaha Vasudevasya Saptamaha Balakaha Shishuhu Sunuhu Sanatanaha Asti. Right?
Okay, good. So I think
And
I will give someone else a chance. Because
thank you very much.
Had this
Thank you.
confusion. Yeah, thank you so much, Rama.
Thank you. Now,
Sujata Bhatt.
Rama.
Rama.
Kaikeyi is Dasaratha's third wife. Dasaratha's tritiya bharyah Kaikeyi asti.
Tritiya Bharya.
Bharya, okay. Tritiya bharya asti. Patni, okay, Patni.
Patni, Bharya, both.
Krishna had 8 wives. Had, that is Bhutakal. Ashtap, 8 wives. Krishna had Ashtapatni wives is Bahuvachan Patnyaha. Patnyaha. Ashtaha Patnyaha Krishna Asit.
So whenever we have this possession, we use the 6th case. Krishnasya Ashta Patnya Asan.
Asan. Sita is the only wife of Rama. Sita Ramasya evam patni. Evam only is evam or like this? You said evam is like this.
Evam is like this. So
only is ekam.
So here there is a word called ekaki or ekakini. So
Sita Ramasyat ekatni patni.
Ekakini patni. Just give me a second. I'm sorry.
Sita is the only wife of Rama. Ramasya
Ekakini patni. Sita Ramasya ekakini
patni.
So the next is?
We 7 or 8 brothers live in the house. Vayam saptashta Bhratabhyam.
What is the plural of bhratra? How does it have get the plural? Bhrata, bhratarau?
Bhratarau, bhrataha, bhratraha.
Bhrataraha.
Bhratraha.
Bhrataraha. Bhrata, bhratarau.
Grahe vasanti.
Grihe vasanti. So it is vasamaha, uttama purusha bahuvachan. Yes.
Okay, vasamaha. Yes. there are 4 to 5 cows in my house. Mama grahe chatura pancha
Chatushpanchaha.
chatushpanchaha
Chaha.
dhenavo cows
Dhenavaha.
plural. Dhenavaha there are asit.
There are. So,
Asti.
santi.
Santi. Plural. Santi. He worships Vinayaka 4 times. Saha Vinayaka worships Vinayaka. Saha
So
Vinayaka.
Vinayaka is the object. So
Vinayakam. Saha
Vinayakam.
Vinayakam Chaturavaram namati.
Jayati. Pujayati.
Pujayati.
Chaturkritvaha or chatuhu.
Pujayati.
Pujayati.
I go to temple twice a day. Aham to the temple. So aham ahalya dvitiya twice a day. Pratidinam dvitiya pratidinam we don't have to say, no, twice a day.
Dvivaram. Pratidinam you can say.
Pratidinam.
Every day
Pratidinam
I go
dvivaram aham ahalyam gachami.
What is ahalya? Mandiram or devalayam gachami.
Devalayam gachami. Alas, isn't there another word for temple? Devalayam. Okay, Devalayam gachami. Mandiram gachami. The boys are standing in the groups of 3. Now, groups of 3. Groups is last one was groups. Trisha is groups of 3. So the boys.
Trishaha. We add the pratyaya shaha. Yes.
The boys, balakaha, trishaha, standing is tishtanti.
Trishaha
tishtanti. Trishaha tishtanti. Dhanyavadah.
Samyak. Geeta Ashok.
Ram Bahini.
Ram.
The girls are standing in groups of 4. Balikaha chadushchaha tishtanti.
Chadushchaha tishtanti.
The father is giving fruits in 5s. Pita panchashaha palani dadati.
Panchashaha palani dadati.
I drink water frequently. Frequently. Aham jalam pibami. Frequently.
Asakrit. So sakrit is once, not once, but many times is asakrit.
Aham asakrit jalam pibami. He eats twice a day. Saha pradidinam dvivaram khadati.
Dvivaram khadati. So there are 3 words. Dvivaram, dvikritvaha or dvihi. Any of these 3 words you can use. Khadati. So, okay. I think the exercise ends there. If there is a next exercise, I will call you. Dhanyavadah.
Thank you.
So, lesson 13 is about the tumun antas and twa pratyayas. Tumun and twa anta shabdas. So, before we proceed to this, I will see if there are any questions. take up the questions and then proceed. So why is hull? Why is it hull and not yal or har? Yes, hakara comes twice because for the creation of the short forms, in many of the sutras, we have the need for 2 hakaras. So it is a convention to use the first hakara and the last lakara as the vyanjana. We really can't answer this as to why it is from hakara to lakara. Anyway, the same words, the same alphabets are included. So is yama a quarter? Yes, that's right. Yama is a quarter because it is 3 hours. Mukkai Krishnamurthy Mahodaya, I didn't get your doubt.
Sorry, ma'am, I don't have any questions.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Krishnasya Ashtapatnyah Asan or Krishnasya Ashtami Patnyah Asan. So Ashtami is the 8th. So it is the ordinal number. So Ashtami will be wrong. Ashta Patnyah or Ashtau. We saw that Ashta has 2 forms, Ashta and Ashtau. So you can use one of the 2 forms. Sita Eka Eva Patni, you can use that way also. Eka Eva Patni Sita. Ekakini is a word which says that she is the one and only. Ekakini, yes, the spelling is right. There is a question about the exam. I thought I would discuss the exam questions or the test questions a little later because some are still attempting the paper. So we'll just give them some more time. When will the results of level 1 exam, you mean the Samskritasri results? I think they'll announce it today or tomorrow. I mean, it should come tomorrow. So Vyoma will also be publishing the results in the Pathamala 1 course page itself. Okay. And Maria Bhagini, do you have any doubt about Dvihi?
Namaste.
Namaste.
I do not remember the third form of Chatuhu and Dvihi. You gave the previous form.
Yes. So there are just 4 alternate forms. That is 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is Sakrit, Dvihi, Trihi, and Chatuhu. That's all.
Oh, I did not remember this. Were in the test? Were there in the textbook?
It is there in the textbook, but in a later lesson. But we had covered it in our lesson on numbers itself.
Oh, Thank
I
you.
will just put it together at the same place. So only these 4 numbers have an alternate form. Apart from Varam and Kritvaha, this is an alternate form.
Thank you so much.
Dhanyavad. Krishna had 8 wives. In this, why should we use asan? Is it the meaning of had? Yes. So Krishnasya, we have used the possessive in the noun itself. So we can say asan is where, but then here in English we say had, but in Sanskritam it is asan. So the usage is like that. The possession is indicated in the noun itself. So we say Krishna. Whereas in English, we just say Krishna, which is used as a subject of the sentence. Can we say Phalani Panchashaha instead of Panchashaha Phalani? Yes, that is not a big problem. Ekakini, that is right. It is an Ikaranta Shabda. Ekakini. Okay, so again, what are the 6 seasons? We already saw this. Grishma, Varsha, Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha. Then we have Sharad, Hemanta, Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha. Then Hemanta and Shishira. Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sharad, Hemanta and Shishira. Krishna had 8 wives. Wives is object, is it not? In this sentence, wives is the subject because Krishnasya is in Shashti Vibhakti. Who were there? The wives were there. So the action is done by the wives. So the subject of the sentence is wives. Those were the questions. So, Tumun and Ktva Pratyayau, we will be seeing. So we'll first read some sentences. Somebody wants to read, please raise your hand. Geeta Ashok, I think I give you a chance. Ram. Yeah.
Ramaha patati, Ramaha patashalam gacchati.
So can you translate this?
Ramaha patitum patashalam gacchati, Ramaha patashalam gattva patati.
Okay. No, but I just want you to translate this.
Oh. Rama reads, Rama goes to school.
So 2 actions are done by Rama. One is he reads. Where does he read? He reads in school. So actually he first goes to school and then he reads. Next sentence.
Krishnaha kridati, Krishnaha kridanganam gacchati. Krishna goes to playground, Krishna plays.
So he first goes to the playground and plays, or in other words, he goes to the playground so that he can play. It is done by Krishna. Both these sentences are about Krishna's actions.
Pita devam pujayati, Pita pushpani nayati. Father worships God, Father brings flowers.
So the father brings flowers in order to worship God.
Agam snami, Agam nadim gacchami. I go to river to take bath.
There are 2 sentences. I bathe, I go to the river. So where do I bathe? I go to the river and bathe.
Tvam chitram pashyasi. Tvam chitrashalam gachasi.
You see the picture.
I go to art gallery.
You. Tvam.
You go to art gallery.
So these are two sentences where one is connected to the other. The actions are connected to each other, and the doer of the actions are the same in all these sentences. So in this case, we use the infinitive of purpose. So each of the above pairs of sentences can be combined into one sentence by the use of the infinitive of purpose. It is called tumun pratyaya. And when it is added to the dhatu, it is just tum. We don't use the nakara. It is just tum. The ukara and nakara get elided. We just have tum. So patha plus tum, it becomes pathitum. So there is an additional ikara which enters. So it becomes pathitum. So in different dhatu forms, the tuman pratyayantas get different rupas. We will see many of them. Just by familiarity, we have to know the tumananta forms. So by using this tuman pratyaya, what we do is the action for which the other action is taken up is converted into this tumunanta by adding tum. So Ramaha padhati, Ramaha pathashalam gachati. So the purpose of Rama going to the pathashala is to read. So padhati is the purpose. So padhitum, it is made into one sentence by saying Ramaha padhitum pathashalam gachati. So for padhati, the tumunanta is padhitum. This is an avyaya. It will not change according to the linga, vachana or purusha. It is an avyaya. So it remains the same. For pathdhatu, the tumunanta is a standard format, which is padhitum. Krishnaha kridati. Saha kridanganam gachati. So why does he go to the kridanganam? In order to play. So the purpose is kridati, and to that you add the tumun to form kriditum. Here also the ikara is added. Pita devam pujayati, pita pushpani nayati. Pita devam pujayitum pushpani nayati. He brings flowers in order to do puja. Aham snami, aham nadim gachami. Aham snatum nadim gachami. So why do I go to the river? I go to the river in order to bathe. Tvam chitram pashyasi, tvam chitrashalam gachasi. You go to the chitrashala in order to see the chitram. Drashtum. So pashyati, the form becomes, we have to use the drash form of the dhatu, and the tum becomes tum here. So this is because of the sandhi rule. Drash, instead of takara, we hear the takara in this dhatu. So drashtum is the standard form of the tumunanta for the drish pash dhatu. So sna plus tum. You just add the tum, you get this form. It's not satum, it's snatum. I'll change this. Sna plus tum, snatum. Padh plus tum, padhitum. In some verbs, we have to add the ikara. In some verbs, there are some changes due to the sandhi rules. For example, drish plus tum becomes drashtum. The rikara of the which follows the dakara becomes repa. So it is dra and then shtum. So and all these tumunanta words are indeclinable. So there is only one form which you have to know. For each dhatu, there is only one form of tumunanta that you have to know. So now we see the compound sentences. Ramaha Pathitum Pathashalam Gachati. So we saw Ramaha Patati, Ramaha Pathashalam Gachati. They were two sentences. We have made them into one sentence by using Pathitum. The second verb is converted into a Tumunanta. Krishnaha Kridati, Krishnaha Kridanganam Gachati, Krishnaha Kriditum Kridanganam Gachati. Pita Devam Pujayitum Pushpani Nayati. The sentences were Pita Devam Pujayati, Pita Pushpani Nayati. So Pujayati, where we have a yakara, then the e is added to the yakara. Pujayitum Pushpani Nayati. Aham Snatum Nadim Gachami, Aham Snami, Aham Nadim Gachami, Aham Snatum Nadim Gachami. Tvam Chitram Pashyasi, Tvam Chitrashalam Gachasi, Tvam Chitram Drashtum Chitrashalam Gachasi. So we will stop here. If there are any questions, I will take them. Why can't we use Pashyitum? That is not the correct form of the verb in the language. So we just learn what is there in the language. Put Tuman Pratyaya be used in the second part. The reason why we do one particular action is in order to do another particular action. That is how these two sentences are combined. So the purpose for which we are doing this first action will only get the Tumananta, not the other dhatu. It won't make sense if you add it to the other dhatu. Homework, if any, for the next class. So lesson 13, there are some Tumunanta and Tvanta forms. If you can get those read those forms and become familiar with those forms, it will be easy for us to do the exercises in the next class. So that I thought I will give that as homework. I'll just show you the slide as well. So learn the Tvanta and the Tumunanta forms, because the only way to learn it is to just read and practice and become familiar with it. The Tvanta and the Tumunanta forms are given in lesson 13, pages 57 and 58. This will be useful for the next class. So let us conclude with the Mangala Shlokaha. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha. Shubharatri.